Hello all. So, before getting on with the video, I'm gonna tell you this now. Huge ass spoiler warning, okay? The entire movie is just a spoiler of itself, okay? So, you watch this video, don't go telling your friends about it, okay? Trust me, it'll be a mistake. And just so you know, I'm recording this video like minutes after watching the movie, and I'm uploading it tomorrow, so you'll probably be watching this now, which will be my tomorrow and your now. Unless you're watching this in the distant future, this will be back then. Why is time travel so confusing? Apparently it's not for the Avengers. Yeah, time travel. Woo, we all knew that was gonna happen, didn't we? How else were they gonna bring everybody back? Okay, so I remember how the intro went. My memory is terrible, but I remember how the intro went. So at first we thought it was a preview. Starts with the tip of an arrow, and then it backs out, and it shows Hawkeye teaching his daughter how to fire an arrow. They're having fun, they're having a picnic, and then his daughter walks off to get something, and he's talking to his wife in the distance. He turns back, and his daughter is gone. So Hawkeye looks back at his family, and they're gone. His family disappeared, and all he sees is dust. And all he can think is, what the hell happened? So he's looking for them, he's calling for them, and gone. Marvel! Marvel. We didn't know who made this movie, not at all. Anyway, that's like one of the 5 million things, well, actually, to kind of go off the movie, 3,000 things that happened in this movie. There is just so much going on. Michael Bay didn't know how to handle so much going on in his movie, and look what happened to Transformers The Last Night. But they managed to cram so much shit into this movie, and it worked. So far, the movie has like over $100 million, and it's only been out a couple days. That's staggering. Anyway, so the Avengers know that they've lost. They're trying to get over their losses and figure out how to attack against Thanos again. It doesn't go so well. 5 years passes. It's 2023. And the Avengers finally team up. Cap and Iron Man settle their differences, more or less. And they try to go and kill Thanos at one point. Oh, wow. For a 3-hour movie, this one scene felt like forever ago. Like the movie I was watching before I went to go see Endgame. Like, okay, so, boy. Hulk with the Hulkbuster armor, because in case you don't know what happened in Infinity War, yeah, he has to use the Hulkbuster armor. Plus Captain Marvel, plus Thor, plus Captain America, and Black Widow, not to mention, War Machine. They all more or less hold on to Thanos, and Thanos wasn't doing anything. He was just farming. Grabs a fruit, walks to his farm, and starts making dinner. And all of a sudden, the evil Avengers attack him. Thor cuts off the hand that the gauntlet was on Thanos. And it's just pain. They're talking to Thanos, and he explains that he got rid of the stones, he destroyed them, and he used the stones to destroy the stones. So, they're lost. They don't know what to do. So, Thor takes Thanos' advice and goes for the head. and chops Thanos' head clean off. I was just like, roll credits, movie's over. Yeah, that's what we all thought. That's when 5 years passes, and half of the universe is gone. Everybody's still trying to figure it out, and it's just like, what are we gonna do? Obviously, they end up figuring it out. 3 hours, and I can't remember 90% of the details. Did Thanos snap his fingers on my brain or something? Well, then it'd be 50%. The other 40 is ambiguous. Anyway, like, they go and find Clint, or, Hawkeye, who is now known as Ronin. He's a killer now. He's lost everything. He's lost his family. And they gather everybody. Scott Lang, Ant-Man, comes back from the quantum realm. I don't want to go there, by the way. I do not want to go to the quantum realm. That place is scary as hell. Hell's not scary, though. Anyway. So he comes back. They form the Avengers once again. They decide to do time travel because they've got nothing else. Iron Man has a daughter. He just wants to escape from all of it. He doesn't want to be Iron Man anymore. He just wants to be Tony Stark and not the eccentric billionaire he once was, but more or less a guy who lives out in a cabin. In other words, Thanos. The two aren't all that different. So, what they do, he's done. So, the rest of the Avengers, they have to complete with the time travel stuff that Scott Lang discovered, more or less. Time travel. It's confusing. Tony eventually comes back. He wants to work for them one last time because he's discovered a way to track them wherever they are and whenever they are. He also gives Captain America his original shield, which hasn't been seen since Civil War. He says, "You made it for you." So Tony was implying that his father made it for Captain America. Good way to honor your father, Tony. So, they go through time, they find the stones. Captain America encounters an older version of himself. The older version thinks that it's Loki in disguise. So, the newer, or the now Captain America and that Captain America are fighting, and it's like, Captain America's? And of course, he goes back to something that Scott Lang had said, and he was like, that is America's ass. Don't ask me. I was watching a 3-hour movie. I am dead right now. But I'll just get to the juicy stuff. So, they go back to 2014 to get the time stone, or not the time stone, the power stone, when Peter Quill was going to get it in Guardians of the Galaxy. You remember in that movie, he was just listening to music and, singing into a rat and just playing this jazzy music. Well, it played the music, but then eventually it cut, and War Machine and Nebula are there, and they see him just dancing around, horribly singing the song, and War Machine's like, so he's an idiot. I mean, okay. They knock him out, and they take the Power Stone, because Nebula has a metal arm. She can just reach in and grab it. So they get that. But in doing so, they alert the 2014 Thanos, and he comes back. He's the Thanos they have to fight. So the Thanos that snapped his fingers and ended 50% of all life in the universe is dead. He's dead. So it's the 2014 Thanos they have to worry about. I'll go to the big battle. Now, what had happened earlier was Hulk snapped his fingers or did something, and he brought everyone back. So during the battle, it was mostly up to Thor, who's got a beer belly and a full beard and longer hair, and he just looks like a mess. And Captain America and Iron Man. So it's the three of them against Thanos. Just the three of them. Nobody else. The base, the Avengers base, was destroyed. So it's up to them. They're fighting Thanos, and then eventually a portal opens up. You see three figures walking out. And it's revealed that one of them is King T'Challa, or Black Panther. And the crowd just started cheering. Like, I was like, yay! Everybody was cheering. Then all these portals from Doctor Strange open up and everybody just comes out of them. Spider-Man, Valkyrie, the Guardians, you name it. They came through those portals and they were ready, willing, and able to take on Thanos. And the Chitauri, of course. Who forgets about the Chitauri? Who now? Anyway, huge fight. Huge fight. Almost everybody is brawling with somebody. What was his name? What was its name again? Anyway, Thanos' main ship was hovering above them at that time. Then all of a sudden, their cannons that were firing at the ground aimed up, fired at the sky. They were like, what are they shooting at? Captain Marvel comes in and just flies right through the ship, blowing it up. She joins the fight, and basically what's going on with the Infinity Gauntlet, which they now have all the stones, they're trying to get away from Thanos. It starts with Clint. He's trying to take it to the van, which has a time machine in it. He's going to take it to a time where Thanos can't get it. But that doesn't turn out too well. So Black Panther takes it. And then Spider-Man. And Spider-Man goes with Valkyrie. And then Valkyrie gets knocked out of the sky. Then Rescue, who's Pepper Potts, she comes in and saves Spider-Man, who's got the Infinity Gauntlet. He drops it. Whole bunch of shit's going on. Then eventually, Tony sees it. He's trying to get it. Thanos gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's about to snap his fingers. They are stopping him. Like, Captain Marvel grabs the glove. She's like holding on for dear life, and Thanos just headbutts her right in the head. She's just like, she didn't feel it. And then she just gets thrown by Thanos. Then Iron Man grabs the glove, or the gauntlet rather. It's a gauntlet. There's a difference between a gauntlet and a glove. And he grabs it, and Thanos throws Tony, or Iron Man, like halfway across the place, and he's just like, I am inevitable. Just a metal clink. Metal clink. The stones are gone. Iron Man grabs something, and the Infinity Stones are on his hand, and his whole arm just glows with energy. The whole audience cheered so loudly, I nearly went deaf, and I was just like, am I the only one who knows that mortals can't handle the power of one Infinity Stone? Yeah. If mortals can't handle one stone, not one mortal can handle 6. So, Thanos said, I'm inevitable. Tony said, and I Um, Iron Man. Snap. And it goes into that white flash, and all of the Chitauri, the Black Order, they start fading to dust. Thanos is looking around in pure shock, and he's just like, this can't be happening. And eventually, he realizes that he's done. So just like at the end of Infinity War, when he finally got what he wanted, and he sat at his farm, he did the same thing and sat down. Just a moment of him realizing what he did and how it came back to bite him in his purple ass. And all of a sudden, he just starts fading to dust. And he looks up and he's just like, and fades to dust. But everybody who was killed by the snap originally, they're back. So, payback, Thanos. It's a real... Oh, if I said that next word, Cap would come in and say language. But this is where it gets sad. Tony he's not feeling well. If you get that reference, you're good. Like the side of his face here is just like burnt off. His arm is all charred, and he can't breathe. And then Peter comes in, Spider-Man, and he's like, "Mr. Stark, we won! You did it! Mr. Stark?" And he's just like not very responsive. Then Pepper comes in and she tells him that he can rest now, and he dies. He's not the only one. When Hawkeye and Black Widow went to go get the Soul Stone, Black Widow sacrificed herself so that they could get the Soul Stone. So both her and Tony are dead. And the whole thing is just sad. There's a message of, him saying that he knew he wasn't going to make it with all the time travel shit they were planning, and I've never cried during a movie. This one actually made me cry when Tony died. And I was just like, he's actually dead. The invincible Iron Man don't mean nothing. Anyway, at the funeral, they had this tiny little float with a bunch of flowers on it, and a callback to the very first MCU movie, Iron Man 1. It had this little arc reactor, with the thing around it that says, "Proof that Tony Stark has a heart." Everybody started crying, and it was just like, the camera went through the procession of people, and everybody was there. All the MCU characters. The Guardians, too, and none of them knew Tony. Well, except for Nebula, Those two were stranded on a ship. They should know each other. But everybody was there. And he was dead. So, he's a main character. Come on. It makes sense, but man. Anyway. Yeah. Tony died. Black Widow died. But everybody came back. Then Captain America took the stones, and he had to go back in time and put them where they belong, in the timeline. So they send him back, and they're supposed to bring him back 5 seconds later. But what ends up happening is he doesn't come back. Just like, where is he? Then they see an older Captain America sitting on a bench by the water, and he gives Falcon his shield. We have a new Captain America, ladies and gentlemen. And really there, that's where the movie pretty much ends. It's like, holy crap, so much shit happened and it's all compiled into a 3-hour movie and it's just awesome. And of course sad and heartbreaking. But none of you care about that. What you all care about is one scene where they finally bring back Thor and he's got the beer belly and everything. Korg, if you all remember him from Thor Ragnarok, is playing Fortnite of all things. I was just like, meta. Because Fortnite's on a Avengers thing right now. So does that mean Korg was playing with the Captain America shield, the Stormbreaker, Iron Man's gloves, and Hawkeye's bow? That is seriously meta. But yeah, time travel, everybody coming back to life, and one really sad death, a second really sad death, and what more could you ask for? So, there was a review for the first movie I've ever cried at. This movie, though, if you have not seen it, why the hell are you watching this video? Go watch it, you noob!